Well, it's very windy and cold. Good afternoon to everybody watching online. Welcome to EBSN Eagles Baseball Sports Network. We're just about to get underway in third grade. Earlier today, it was a win to our under-18, 7-4 over Canterbury. And we have our Manly side just taking the diamond now. The plate meeting is done. Everyone knows the rules. And now we'll bring you the lineup for the visiting Canterbury Vikings. Manly Eagles lineup brought to you by Jewel Finance. For all your finance leads, give Josh and the team the call at Jewel Finance. Umpires for this game, calling balls and strikes, Jerry Cobb, and in the infield, Billy Green. Ruben Chivik just going through his final warm-ups before we start this one. Here's my drink. So Ruben Chivik coming off pretty decent start last week. Had a good couple of first innings, but got tired.
Wasn't helped out by his field either, Luke.
No, it was a tricky day for the Manly defence. And again, they ended up getting away from them. First pitch was over the catcher, Eric Wu, for ball one. And then that second one just hit a little bit inside ball two. So Scott Sloan, very experienced leadoff man for Canterbury.
We want to see Ruben keep his attitude and his energy levels up the whole way through the game, and sort of lagged into his third inning of work in that game last week against Borko.
Yeah, he showed a little bit of negative emotion on the mound when things didn't quite go his way. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk to start this ball game off. Not what manager Sean Shivers would have been looking for. See how he bounces back.
That line for Chippick on his start against Borko, 2 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. So when you look at that in terms of raw numbers, it's not a bad start by any stretch of the imagination. But
especially first game for the year as well.
Exactly right. It's just you want him perhaps to go a little bit deeper today, and hopefully the infield around him give him a bit more help than they gave him a week ago.
And if he can just put in 3 solid innings of work today, I think Sean Shivers will be pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Yep. Especially the amount of arms he's got with him.
Yep, he's got plenty of options there. He's got Ben Logue, coming off a decent appearance last week. First time in 18 months he's been on top of the mound.
Yep. And came in traffic in that spot as well. Managed to get out of that, and the damage came in his second inning of work. So,
yep.
Plenty of options for Sean today. Just be looking for a solid start from Ruben. Yep.
Up there for ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. He'll have a bunch of 18s coming off the bench for him as well. Obviously, third grade and second grade a little bit undermanned at the moment with a few players unavailable. Tricky time of year being so close to Christmas. 3-1 the count now.
Another thing we want to see from Ruben is command that fastball, yes, but don't go to the secondary pitches too early. Make sure you are relying on that pitch. Make that your number one. And work everything else off that. Got a little bit too hungry for his secondary pitches in that start against Porco a week ago.
Offers of that one, but it'll be ball 4, so back-to-back walks for Canterbury.
This is not the start they would have wanted. Third grade, finding themselves with traffic on the bases, no one out. This wind is really picking up now, Luke. It's becoming quite. It was bad during 18s. It's getting a lot worse.
But you know what? There's a bit of sun peeking through, mate.
Yeah, that's a good point. Temperatures rising a little. Oh, big mix up with the runners.
Here we go. We had this in first grade last Wednesday night. Sean Shivers running back. He's not. They're going to get an out at second base, are they? Yes, they do get one. Sean Shivers executing that to perfection to get Daniel Cruz out. Cruz turns second. Didn't see that Scott Sloan, who's noted for his speed, he was held up at third base by Rob Cook. And Daniel Cruz didn't see that happening ahead of him, and he was hung out to dry. Sean Shivers holding his nerve, running all the way across the diamond and then offloading it to Tom Van Vessem to apply the tag. And that's the first out here.
And that's the sort of help he didn't get last week, Ruben. He was picking up his guys in the field. That time he gives up a hit. Manages to get an outfield assist, and suddenly Manly, their situation looking a little bit better with runners on the corners and one out.
Double play off Hurley. Chris Hurley gets across to it. Just boots it. And that'll be the first run of the ball game for Canterbury. Chris Hurley probably thinking about the double play before he actually picked up the ball. Nathan Ward getting aboard there. Things happening very quickly already.
Not kidding.
I think we're still only at our first batter in the under 18s at this point, and now we're already at batter 5. And it's Jackson Ingham, centre fielder for the Vikings. He takes that pitch for strike 1, a ball and a strike for Ingham.
You can't criticise Ruben for not attacking the zone. He's certainly done that early in this game. Ball's been put in play by some good hitting as well from the Vikings.
Gets strike 2.
Nice breaking ball.
Swing and a miss. So Chibbick comes back with the strikeout there. Gets Ingham's missing.
And aggressive with that fastball again, Luke. He comes back, throws a nice little breaking ball for a strike, and then comes back with the hard stuff, and he's beginning to spot that pitch pretty well now. Ominous signs for Canterbury if he can keep that up. Mitch Fuller in the box now, the second baseman, as he cuts that one foul to the right side.
Into the car park and up the driveway.
A difference in that body language as well from Chippy this week. He's given up the early run. He's got runners on base, but he seems to be enjoying himself. He's enjoying the challenge that he and Eric Yu have got in front of them now, and trying to get this third out and escape with just a single run in this first inning.
Yeah. Don't speak too soon, Alex.
I'm talking about what I'm observing at the moment, Luke. That could all change in 5 minutes, but that's
There
a great
goes.
pitch.
Strike 3, and that will end the top of the first. We'll come with Chris Hurley to lead things off when we return in the bottom of the first inning. So Chris Hurley in the leadoff spot this afternoon. Liam Mayo unavailable. Normally his role up there. And hacks at the first pitch from Scott Sloan. And one pitch, one out. Andrew Woods doing the fielding over there at third base for the Vikings. Slow roller, picked it up, fired across. Brings up Dion Mason. Excuse me. Dion takes the first pitch from Scott Sloan for ball one.
Good hitter for third grade last year. Racked up at 324 Average 425 OBP. That's what you want out of a 2-hole hitter.
Hacks away at that one. 1 ball and a strike. Up and in on Mason, jumps out of the way of it. 2-1 now. And they're looking for their first base runner of the game.
Don't want to do what they did last week. They fell behind early and the bats fell asleep.
They definitely had their chances last week, just couldn't execute when it came to it.
That's right.
But it is the same old story with some of these Manly teams we've seen in the past. 2-2 to count for Mason.
Sloan being aggressive as well early. It's good to see.
Sloan will just throw you plenty of junk, and Mason puts it down the third base line, knocked down by Woods, but didn't know where it ended up, and it'll be a base hit for Dion Mason. Manly are aboard here with a base runner.
A bit more energy just around the camp, quietly, than there was last weekend.
Yep, well,
walking in here, just in the dugout as well. Got some guys back.
I've certainly put last week in the rear vision mirror. Hopefully they can turn it around, get some early runs, put some pressure on from the start. Sloan just missing away there with ball 1. Plenty of firepower in these Manly bats.
Absolutely.
Despite missing a handful of players. There's a called strike there. It's Stefan Simic.
Was aggressive in the count earlier last week. Obviously changing approach here. A little bit more patient.
Yeah, just seeing some pitches. They would have seen Sloan a lot. He's been a regular in 3rd grade over the years. I know I've faced him before. You probably would have faced him, Alex. And that pitch hit to the second baseman will throw to Mason for 1. Simic will just beat it out over at first base. A very slow roller to the second baseman. And Simic will reach on the fielder's choice.
It's good pitching from Sloan. He's always changing speeds, and that one you just see Simic get completely jammed, knock that ball out the right side. And he's so good at doing that. He draws weak contact. That's the scouting report on Sloan.
Be interesting to see how Mitch Fuller was to actually making a tag there. He could have tagged, maybe, if, you know, slow roller definitely drew him into the baseline. Could have looked at a tag and then a flip over to first for the DP, but not to be. Fielder's choice for Simic. And it brings up Cole Rosillo.
This is a bat they need to fire.
Plenty of power in this man's bat. Lobs that one in. Ball high.
That looked pretty good to me, guys. I don't know about that one.
It's those looping pitches, mate. Sometimes, you know, when you don't see them, Jerry Cobb's, you know, a 1st grade umpire.
Yes.
You know,
not used to seeing stuff like that.
Not used to seeing those, you know, that loopy stuff. It'll take him a couple to adjust. Rosillo fouls that one off. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Excuse me again.
1 and 2. See some defensive hacks coming here from Cole. It's a good slider off the plate.
And that is strike 3. So after the end of the 1st inning, Canterbury lead this one 1-0.
back, top of the second. Vikings leading this one 1-0. Ruben Chipick is on the mound for Manly. Alex Molchanoff with you. Luke Eisenhower will be back with us shortly. And the batter in the box is the third baseman, Andrew Woods. And one good play in that first inning with the glove. Couple of hits for the Vikings in the top half of their first. And now they're going to add a walk to that. Woods walks on 4 pitches. Chipick struggling to find his control in the early gun this second inning, just as he did in the first. Walked the first couple in the first dig as well. Woods reaches on a bases on balls and brings up the former Manly Eagle in Marty Walsh, returning to Aquatic Ballpark for his first at-bat in the colours of the Canterbury Vikings. Batting in the 8-hole today, playing in right, and he's got a runner on. As he sees the first pitch from Chipick in the dirt, is going to have to go and chase that one back to the screen. Not the way that battery would have wanted to start this second inning. We welcome Luke Eisenhower.
Thanks, mate. Just grabbing some
second inning, grabbing some
brunch.
Feed.
Brunch.
Beautiful.
There's that body language coming into it, mate.
Yeah, and that's
saw
right.
after that pass ball, just dropped the shoulders a little bit, even on that check swing.
It's all under control, and that's where you talk about picking your pitcher up, picking whoever up. Just Walsh swings and flies one. That's a difficult one to play, and it drops in behind Rossello. Runner moves around to third, and there'll be runners on the corners. Marty Walsh with a knock in his first at-bat back at Aquatic Ballpark. Problems for Chipick early in this second inning. We see that wind playing havoc again when the ball is going in the air this afternoon, as Jacob Richards, another former Eagle, doing the catching today for the Vikings. He's about to settle in. Time is called as the wind continues to pick up and blow right in our faces here in our broadcast position up on the hill at Aquatic. And the first pitch from Chipick is in there for strike one.
Yeah, mate, that fly ball off the bat of Walsh looks like it was going straight down there on Mason's throat. But the wind turned it around. And
that's exactly right. Blowing back in towards the infield and suddenly
dropped it behind Kyle Rosello.
You does well to keep that ball close enough to stop the run from scoring. Walsh wasn't moving anywhere on first base. He was quite happy.
Does have wheels, Marty Walsh.
He does. That's what guy spends. He's an absolute gym rat, Marty.
Very, very fit man. Has had a unlucky run with injuries over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Good to see him back fit and playing ball again. See what Jacob Richards can deliver here.
Runners on the corners, no one out.
There you go, Walsh takes off but stops. Goes back and tags, but that ball's well and truly out of play. Can remain 1 and 2.
I like that Eric Hughes got Ruben to go back to his fastball here and rely on that down the bottom of the order, get some command back after he struggled with it earlier in the inning. And just as I say that, the breaking ball gets away.
Marty Walsh moves up to second, looks to go to third, but we'll be happy with that. Two and two the count. Richards fouls that one off and out of play.
It's a trend. Third grade don't want to become a habit. It's another earned run allowed.
Yeah, Wu and Chibik just
Yeah.
still learning each other at the moment.
Chance here on the 2-2. And he got him.
Straight down the middle. Great change up. Jake Richards looked at it and thought, oh, I should probably swing at that. But by that time, it was too late. And we get the first out of the inning.
Racking up Ks early in this season. Talked about that line last weekend. Ruben Chippick had 4 of them. Already got 3 here today.
Back to the top of the order for Scott Sloan. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Pokes that over the head of Rosello into shallow right field. In on it is Patfield, who cuts it off, throws it into the cutoff man.
That's just a really experienced bit of hitting from Sloan. I'd seen the breaking ball on that last pitch, and he's just waiting for it and able to flick it over.
Just let his hands do the work there, mate.
Absolutely. Experience, good hitting. Gets washed to third, and the Eagles' plight could get a little bit deeper here.
I was just about to say, I don't expect Sloan to be staying at first base very long. Before the words could get out of my mouth, didn't want to interrupt you, Alex. Sloan takes off, but it's fouled away for strike 1. Expect Sloan to go again here.
See if Chippy can sort something out, holding the runner.
Slide step, gets strike 2. Daniel Cruz, the batter, ran himself in 2 and out in the first inning. Heads down running instead of some heads up running. That pitch Sloan goes a little bit delayed, but takes the base without a throw from Wu. Pitch was up and out of the zone for ball 1. Runners at second and third now for the Vikings. Chippick just firing down in the zone but misses. Count now 2 and 2. And the experienced Cruz lays off that one to fill the count up. First base open, but prefer the out.
Can hit that outside corner again. Pitch.
Misses down the dirt. We'll just challenge it up, mate. We should have just thrown the fastball.
That's right. It's just overthinking, really, isn't it? Trying to get your favourite look. A little bit too cute.
Yeah, too cute. First base is open though, it doesn't hurt. Does bring the double play back into order.
Chivers with his second visit to the mound in short order. It's another big spot. Manly don't want to be in the same spot they were a week ago.
There's a single into right field last time for Sang. Chivik misses outside, trying to stay away from Sang's bat.
That's the tough thing that walk does. Suddenly, you have to be aggressive to one of the better hitters in the lineup.
Certainly a guy that's already got a hit off you already. Hit the ball pretty well too.
just count it 2-0.
Pulls it foul.
That was a good challenge pitch.
Saying wanted it.
It was actually a little bit ahead of it, I think, there, Luke.
Yeah, definitely early. He saw it. His eyes lit up when he saw where it was. 2-1 the count.
Think something off speed here.
Pops it up. Mason gets a late break on it. It's going to get down in front of him. Again, maybe the wind playing its part there. And it'll be an RBI single for saying he's 2 for 2. A lot of communication out there by the looks of it. Centre fielder Mason should take control of it. Maybe he lost it.
Well, and if Chippick wasn't showing signs of frustration already, that won't do anything to improve his mood as the first baseman, Nathan Ward, steps in.
Outside corner for strike one. That's how you start after something that doesn't go your way. Firing in there a strike.
Well, that's been his best pitch so far, the Savo. He's finding that outside corner. It's every time Eric Yu puts down that pinky finger, he's been able to find it for him.
Nathan Ward up the middle. Diving play by Mason, but it just falls out of his glove. It's going to score 2 runs. He made a great play like that last week. Today, just not sticking in the leather. And Canterbury racing out to an early 5-0 lead.
And now it's just about damage limitation, really, isn't it? We've got that force on, but runs continuing to flow in.
Fortunately, you had that force on with the 3-4 hitters coming up in the order. Sang proved in his last at bat he can hit the ball.
Well, that walk to Cruz really hurt there. Those runs coming around to score because you suddenly have 2 guys who can really swing the bat. Just see it leaking over the heart of the plate on both occasions. Perhaps getting a little bit unlucky with the wind.
Yeah, wind certainly playing its part.
And suddenly that lead is blown out to 5.
But that's an adjustment that this Manly defence has to make. Outfield needs to come in, maybe shift across a little bit, play to the conditions.
See now they have shallowed up quite a bit.
And I think, you know, with this small stature, in Jackson Ingham, I don't want to give him too much discredit, but probably want to come in a little bit closer as well. Fouls that one off. 2 balls, 2 strikes now for the Vikings centre fielder. So fills the count up again, 3-2 for Chippick. Ben Logue tossing out the back.
I think we might be seeing him sooner rather than later here, Luke, if Manly can't get out of this inning.
Swing and a miss by... So 2 out now.
Second strikeout of the day for Ingham.
Ingham goes down on strikes on that curveball. 2-2.
Another guy, Chippick, has already struck out today, and Mitch Fuller up.
Did you say that strikeout number 6 now? Can't be. It's only been 5 outs.
No. When did I say strikeout number 6?
I thought you said 5 before.
Struck out already.
So, no.
5 on the season.
Or was it 3 for the game? So that's 4 for the game.
4 for the game now.
Okay. So it was 5 last week. My apologies.
Yeah.
Got my numbers mixed up. in there for strike one. So getting ahead. Just got to stay ahead. Mitch Fuller. Wearing 44, playing position 4 today. Fouls that one off. 0-2 very quickly. Gets a strikeout. So now he's got the 5
There we go.
strikeouts. Finishes the second inning. Canterbury put up a 4 spot. So as we head to the bottom of the second, and the Eagles trailing 5-0. Will be the manager, Sean Shivers, to lead things off. Starting at first base today. See if he can just plonk one over the top of the third baseman's head like he did last week to break up the perfect game.
We need him to do something similar here today. Moves himself up the order.
Yeah, taking himself out of the 9 hole into the 4 hole. I had a few people ring me for the lotto numbers during the week. Yeah, mate, you missed it. You go get it. Ooh. 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes for Sean Shivers. It's down for ball 3, so exactly where Manly want to be to start this bottom of the second.
Not something you usually see from Sloane.
Long innings, mate. Can do that to you. Especially when you're hitting for yourself as well.
Yeah.
I know I struggled with that in a game last year. Unfortunately, that game just happened to be a preliminary final. Came out for one too many inning and didn't end very well. 3-2 now for Shivers. Takes that pitch in from Sloane.
Good battle back. Hit spot on the outside and then came back in. Gibbs needs to get that bat off his shoulder here.
Swings and misses at that one. So good job by Sloane just to find his way back into the zone. Comes back from 3-0, gets Shivers to strike out. First out here, bottom of the second inning.
Wind's still wreaking havoc.
Yeah, dies down for a minute and then just goes absolutely
Oh.
berserk. Ton van Vessem now. First appearance for him for the year. Strike on the outside corner. Soft bouncer in front of the plate. Pick up, nice early call by Sloan. He had it, picked it up, fired a strike to his first baseman, getting Van Vesten by a step and a half for the second out.
And getting more weak contact from the guys at the plate. Haven't been able to knock anything too solid. Deal Mason with an infield hit earlier in this game, but that's it so far for the Eagles.
It was after Chris Hurley grounded out on the first pitch of the Manly bottom of the first. It's going to bring up Eric Wu, who checks his swing but goes too far for strike one. Swings and misses at that one, so we could have a very quick 1-2-3 inning again here. And that is a very nice curveball by Scott Sloan. Jerry Cobb's used to it now, and that'll be the third out of the second inning, and that'll finish the second inning. So after 2 on the Procar Automotive scoreboard, it's the Canterbury Vikings 5, Manly 0.
Welcome back to Aquatic Ballpark here. Alex Molchanoff with you as Andrew Woods settles in to lead off the top of the third, just as he did the top of the second. Vikings getting all 9 hitters to the plate in the second inning, knocking 4 across on just the 3 hits off Ruben Chippick. A couple of errors. Manly helping their cause. Chippick, who's shown us all his good stuff so far today. That one's on the ground to the left side. Picked up by the third baseman early. Picked by the coach Sean Chivers. And the first out recorded for Manly on just a few pitches.
Good to see 2 Manly coaches combining there for an out, putting into practice what they teach their students of the game. One of them sitting up in the box with us today, our new intern on EBSN, Kiana Moch. Welcome to Kiana. Yet to play a game for Manly last week. Missed out on her first one on her debut last night with the washout here up at Aquatic. And women's will be back in action next Friday night for the 3rd straight time at Aquatic. Fingers crossed we have some nice weather, A, to be able to play, but B, to be able to bring it to you on EBSN next Friday night. Make sure you check the socials for those details. They take on a very strong Blacktown Workers side. In there for ball 1.
Where did that miss, Luke?
I don't know, mate. Maybe Jerry's still used to those looping curveballs.
Not kidding.
Forgotten about the standard curveballs inside. Ball 2 now. 2 balls and a strike. Good to see Chippick actually held his head up after that pitch. Didn't drop it. Inside for 3.
He does want to start that pitch. He's tried that a couple of times with Walsh. Wants to start that breaking ball at him. Hope he gives up, but
he's just not having any luck on that inside corner at the moment.
No. And you see Wu setting up outside for this 3-1.
And he gets it. So fills the count up 3-2. 1 out here, top of the 3rd inning. And fires in the strike on the outside corner. So Chippick gets it. Strikeout number 6 for the game.
I do like this little battery. I know you're saying they're still getting used to each other, Luke, but when Chippy working well together, and
once Wu learns how to control that curveball in the dirt, I think it cost him dearly, or not dearly, but it cost him a lot of runs last week. It's cost him a little bit here today. That ball punched through the right side. Could be a play at first here. Big throw by Patfield, and it is a 9-3. Great work by Ben Patfield in right field. Gets the 9-3. Unfortunately, we can't bring you the replay on that, but you can rewind it yourself. We'll bring it to you in the highlights package later in the week. But a good charge there by Ben Patfield to get the 3rd out at first base. Not every day you see a 9-3, so you celebrate it when you do. So as we head to the bottom of the 1st, the bottom of the 3rd, Canterbury lead it 5-0. pointing me around. Good job. Fast learners. I love fast learners. And we are back to Dion Mason, I believe. No, Ben Patfield made that great play to finish the inning. On 2-0 to Patfield. Manly looking for some hard contact. Running into the wind today. Takes the outside pitch for strike one.
It's a nice heads-up play as well from Patfield doing that. Top of the third inning.
Good on Sean Shivers for realising as well that that was going to happen. Like I said, it's not a play you see often, so it's good to see it executed.
Especially on a day like today when the wind is blowing in like it is.
Mate,
and the outfielders can play in.
Well, that's one of the benefits, right?
Yeah.
Lucky he didn't get chewed up in the ground. It's a nice clean pickup. You know, he did make a couple of errors last week, including a minor collision with crossing over in front of Chris Hurley last week as he fouls that one off. So full count for Patfield. Takes ball 4 above the head, so nice at bat, worked a good count. Wasn't too sure about a couple of strike calls, but held his nerve. Got the ball 4 he wanted. I'll bring up Ruben Chippick.
Didn't get to see him hit last weekend.
No, he was DH for. It was his manager doing the DHing for him. Outside corner for strike one. Nice hack by Chivik. Does have a pretty handy bat. Oh, as that Mazda just misses getting collected by the foul ball. So 0-2 for Chippick. Just needs to move Patfield up to second. And unable to do that as he strikes out. For the first out of this bottom of the third.
Talk about a dominant Chippick's been in terms of striking guys out. That's 4 now as well for Sloan. And Hurley's the first Manly hitter to face him twice this afternoon.
Okay, so back to the top of the lineup for the Eagles. Takes ball 1 low in the zone. Grounded out in his first at bat on the first pitch of the inning. Good to see him take one there and get a sider. Big Daddy Hack. Tried to give Manly 2 runs in one swing, but misses that one. Even to count at 1-1. Sloan just drops in that loopy curve. All Hurley can do is watch it fall into the glove of the catcher, Richards.
looked like he loved that call.
No one does when those loopy
No.
ones beat you.
Too easy to give up on.
You see it drop in and you go, damn it, why didn't I hit it? Hurley rips that one through the third baseman, Woods. Bounces off his leg, and Hurley will be aboard. Wait and see how the scorers record it. Hard hit ball. Tied upwards at third base.
That would have been a Webby if he managed to pull that out. The back end almost taking him into foul territory there.
Mate, he made that first
That's
play
true.
in the first inning, and he's been absolutely eaten up a couple of times since. But he hasn't let anything get past him. He's knocked everything down that's been hit his way, which is 50% of the job.
That was the first hit since Dion Mason's in the first inning. He's in the box now.
See what Dion can deliver here. Just missed another spectacular diving catch. An absolute pearler of one last week. Just missed a second. Hatfield takes a nice big lead at second base. Check over it. Second baseman just came in. Hatfield gets back and dirty. Takes that down and away. Ball 2 now. Oh, 1-1. That's 1-1 the count. Hatfield juked into going back to second base there. Second baseman came in. Hatfield went back into the bag, diving.
How was the leg? That was a Johnny Cueto leg kick there.
A little bit of a shimmy. Enough to make Hatfield second guess his lead. Ball was in the dirt, so 2-1 for Mason.
It's the count he loves here, Dion.
That's going to cause all sorts of havoc.
And
that
drops in.
Oh, Hatfield. Runners had to go, of course, with Hurley. Good bit of base running by Chris Hurley to get up to second quickly. Centre fielder Ingham couldn't find the mark at second base to get the force out.
And he's absolutely kicking himself because as soon as that ball drops in, you know there's a force play on 20, 30 feet ahead of you.
And again,
all it takes is a good throw.
Ingham playing, deep for these conditions. Definitely can be in about 5 or 6 metres out there.
Yeah.
And as soon as that ball goes in the air, you've got to be breaking in. Which goes against everything you are taught when you're younger, but you have to play to the conditions. Simic pops that up, but it's going to go foul. Jake Richards not able to get to his feet, and it looks like he might have hurt himself on the way up. Simic possibly dodging a bullet there.
Did he run it?
I think he's just hurt himself getting to his feet. Simic will get a second chance. See if he can make it count. All the bases filled with Manly players. Van Vessem at third, Hurley at second, and Simic goes up the middle. Chris Hurley around third. Ingham fires it in to the cutoff man, to the catcher Richards. A play at the plate, and it's going to be out. Chris Hurley, a great throw by Ingham from centre field, threw it over the cutoff's head. A nice pick up by Jake Richard. Applies the tag on Chris Hurley. And Manly miss out on a second run. They do get one in the form of Tom Van Vessem. Chris Hurley had no other plans but scoring on that one. And he's going to be about a third of a base length short. Jake Richards copping an absolute battering there.
Yeah, not kidding.
In the last couple of pitches, hurt himself getting up for the pop-up. Simic drives in the RBI. It'll be a run to Tom Van Vessem and a base hit to Simic. But it does bring up the second out of the inning for Cole Rosello. But Manly are on the board and putting together some really good at-bats here in the bottom of the third inning.
Nitpicking. Would you like to see Dion at third base there? As soon as you see that throw
Yeah,
go
definitely.
over the cut-off
Yep.
head.
You got to be looking to take that extra base everywhere you get it. Something that Chris Corey, really drilled home. Take that extra base every time it's given to you. I mean, I wasn't quite watching him to see what he was doing with the play at the plate. Maybe he's just being a little bit cautious in case Hurley changed his mind.
Yep.
But you definitely need to be going up to third. Simic, would have followed and gone up to second. It'd be two runners in scoring position. Especially if Hurley is safe as well. You'd have two runners in scoring position with only one out. Even with the big bat of Cole Rosello here, that ball's just gonna hang up if he does hit it anywhere in the air. So it will be hard for Simic to score from first. At least if he's at second, he's 90 feet closer to another run for the Eagles. Ball almost gets away, does get away from Richards, so Manly have two runners now in scoring position. Probably could have had that extra run across the plate, but not to be. Hopefully Rosello can knock in both Mason and Simic here.
Count 2-2, big spot.
2-2, 2 out, 2 on.
Manly want to get back in this game. They need a big base hit here.
Outside corner, well taken by Cole Rosello. Umpire Jerry Cobb motioning that was a little bit high. We might have lost. Grounds it to the pitcher who picks it up, fires it over to first. That'll end the inning. When our tent literally almost came out of its pegs. So 5-2 the Eagles on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. No, 5-1?
5-1.
5-1. Sorry, 5-1 as we finish the third inning. So new pitch up for the Manly Eagles. And on the mound is Ben Logue. Sean Shivers going to the lefty. A few other changes coming into left field. Is Jacob Wanda. No, it's not Jacob Wanda. I'll take that back. Jared Cupp is now at shortstop. Jackson Taylor coming into the game at second base. Tom Van Vessen out of the game. And it's going to be Scott Sloan to start things off.
It's a good outing to get himself back into pitching last weekend. Benny Logue.
Yep.
Against Borco. Inning and a third, 34 pitches. 1 hit, 2 earned. Couple of walks. Came in a tough spot as well.
Certainly did.
Couple of runners in scoring position from memory. Managed to get out of that.
This is up and away, 2 balls, or 1 ball on 2 strikes for Ben Logue. And not a bad outing by Ruben Chippick today either. Just a couple of balls falling into holes. Getting caught up in the swirling wind. Ben Logue striking out Scott Sloan, hitting that outside corner. Eric Wu throwing the ball into the dirt on the throw around. And that's the first out here in the top of the 4th inning. Daniel Cruz for the 3rd time today.
Walked both times previously. Still without a recorded at bat today.
What's the line on Chivvick today, mate? Oh, you haven't got it there. Got something over there.
Give me 2 seconds.
Unfortunately, Game Changer not available for 3rd grade. Swing and a miss by Cruz. 1 ball and a strike. 3 innings pitched. 5 runs, probably all earned, I think.
Yep. Look at those 5 runs on 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. Gave up the 5 hits as well.
That one will drop just on the back of the infield dirt. Bit of a jam shot off the hands of Daniel Cruz, mixed in with some gale force winds in centre field. It's a base hit here in the top of the 4th for the Canterbury Vikings.
We talked about Chibik before the start, wanting to get through 3 innings today, wanted to have better body language out there, wanted to throw, probably go more hard stuff. I think he did all 3 of those things today.
He just got beat by the wind.
Yeah,
just
and that
the wind,
doesn't help.
The wind knocking down a couple of those balls in situations where he just walked a batter.
Yeah.
Or he had it, walked a couple of batters, got himself into a bit of a jam, and any other normal beautiful day here at Aquatic Ballpark, and a lot of those get caught in the outfield. But with 400 km/h winds blowing in from the west, it's
that's a little bit about managing the lineup as well. Walk the bases loaded before facing the 3 and 4 hitters in the 2nd inning, and that's always a really tough spot to put yourself in.
And that's where a lot of the damage came as well.
Yeah, that's right.
But that 3rd inning was a great inning of work.
Yeah, and
only clean inning.
Yeah, clean inning.
Clean inning. Makes a lot of difference when you have a clean inning. If you have a clean inning 1 and 2, then you're going to be throwing inning 4 and 5.
That's right.
But when you're walking 2 or 3 blokes an inning, then innings 4 and 5 are a lot harder to get to.
And you can see that with Ruben. He's got all the stuff. Once Wu figures out his curveball a little bit more, that'll give him a certain sense of security as well. And
Sane just walks out of the box, taking strike one, 3-1 now the count.
Third grade are in a good spot this year. They got 2 pitchers they know they can really rely on. A few others that can get on the mound as well.
After next week, Ruben Chippick will be in there for strike 2. When we come back from the Christmas break, the pitching will look a hell of a lot different.
Yeah.
With the pitcher that third grade have arriving, or returning, I should say. Just down for ball 4 to Sane. So, Beerlogan in a bit of a jam here with 1 out, 2 runners on. But the seasoned professional is here. He is. We'll see him sort this out very quickly. Just looking at Dion Mason to see where he's playing. He's probably a little bit deeper than where I'd like him to be. Nathan Ward stepping into the box.
Couple of hits already today for Ward. 2 for 2. Been a dangerous hitter.
Logue misses up for ball 1.
3 RBIs already. This is the danger man for Canterbury. You can really blow this one out here if you can get something over the heart of the plate.
And dangerous time for the Eagles. Pops that one up. Infield fly rule will be in effect, but it's foul. Shivers running after it. Just couldn't make the catch.
Wind playing havoc again.
That's probably just an infield fly to Jackson Taylor there at second base, but it's pulled it foul, so another chance for Ward. But a bit of indecision by Sean Shivers there as well. Had a look at his catcher to see where he was at. Shivers should have just been going straight forward. He's got the bigger glove. He's running into the ball as opposed to Wu having to take his mask off and find it above his head. Ball and a strike. Inside, doesn't get the call, ball 2. Jared Cupp doing a good job keeping Daniel Cruz close there at second base. Runners take off. Double steal by the Vikings, but Logue misses down and in, so 3-1. And Ward draws the walk, so loads the bases. Does bring that very important double play back into play. Jackson Taylor in for Cole Rosello. I've just realised what the change is there. Took me a minute to work it out. Who was the Manly starting left fielder?
Simic.
Okay, it's still Simic then. Resembles a bit of Jacob Wanda in the distance. There's Stefan Simic out there.
Ingham trying to avoid the sombrero here. 2 strikeouts already today.
He's got to face the lefties for this time. Logue just missing that one. Just needs to challenge young Ingham.
Yep.
Definite play ball double play candidate.
That's right. Anything weak on the ground here, Eagles' best friend. Benny, I think, just overthrown that pitch a little bit. Looking to reach back and
just needs to come back with a strike.
Absolutely.
Find the zone, pound it.
Something down around the knees. Draw some weak contact. This is the count to do it in.
2-0.
Misses outside. There you go, finds it. Gets the free one.
Now he's got to challenge him. You've got to put him right back in that same spot. No, Ingham's keen to draw a walk here.
Straight back to Logue.
And he doubles him off.
So line drive, I thought it might have been a chopper back to Logue. I'm thinking, why are you going to third base, son? But it was a line drive straight back to Ben Logue. He does get the double play. Not quite the way I was thinking it was going to be drawn up, but it's a double play nonetheless. So as we head to the bottom of the fourth, Canterbury still enjoying a 5-1 lead. Sean Shivers punches that one into left field. And he has another hit. He's
hitting 500 this season.
2 for 4.
Far, Luke.
2 for 4 in the season. The manager's showing them how it's done.
Cracking first pitch. And you know with Sloan that he's going to lay pitches in there for you to hit. It's just, are you good enough to put the ball in play safely? And Sean was on that occasion.
And Shivers is definitely one to be able to read those pitches, especially Sloan. A lot of off speed. And it's going to be Jared Cupp in for the first time today. Defensive replacement for Tom Van Vessem. Change for Canterbury with Jack Clapham coming in to play second base.
He's going to be under pressure straight away.
Down for ball one for Jared Cupp. Swing and a miss. Ben Logue's going to be very happy. He's going to get to swing the stick. Manly not playing with the DH today, so it will mean that the Manly pitcher gets to hit. He's got a couple of guys ahead of him yet.
Benny's problem isn't swinging the stick, it's picking which ones to get the lumber off his shoulder for.
And Jerry Cobb says, no, that's not a strike. Canterbury were asking for it, but they didn't get it. 2-2 now the count.
Good eye from Jared. Didn't have the best day at the plate in 18. See if he can get a knock here.
That's a knock into left field. Long run for the left fielder. Saying, but he can't get there. Sean Shivers will hold up at second base. And right on cue, Alex. Well called.
I've liked his approach, Jared. Can't say I've seen a heap of him, but good approach there to turn on that. Knock it in the left, and suddenly,
Manly getting it going.
Manly looking a bit more alive with the bats, which has been the problem in third grade so far this season, and it is very early in this season. But you
still
want the
only
bats
do
to
have
be
the
alive.
Still only do have the one run to their name. Let's see if they can add on here with Eric Wu coming up, showing a bunt. This is interesting. Be interesting to see if he's actually going through with it. Check over at second. Shivers is in trouble. He's gone. Sean Shivers picked off by Scott Sloan, leaning too far down the line with the bunt on. He's not happy with it.
Well, he knows what that means too, Sean. He'll be so disappointed with that.
So we'll see if Eric Wu is going to bring the bat back now and just swing. Would have been interesting to see what the actual play call was on that. Whether it was a bump play or whether Wu was just trying to put pressure on the Canterbury defence. But whatever it was, it's backfired. I just had confirmation that Ben Logue is done. It's one inning and done, so he won't get to swing the bat. We're getting excited for him. Of course, it's been a while since he would have swung the bat.
See, Sloan's control is going a little bit. He's leaking over the heart of the plate, offering the Eagles stuff to swing at. Eric will be disappointed he didn't manage to put that one in play.
He's going to get another pitch to try and make up for it. Takes that pitch up around the nostrils.
Cup looking quite cautious at first after seeing that.
Jared Cup with a decent lead over there. It takes off. And Wu swings through. Good protection swing for his base runner Cup. Cup stands up in a second. But Wu's in a 1-2 hole now. Or sorry, 2-2 now to count. Not too much of a hole. But he still does have a job to do. Bring in the runner Cup. And Wu swings through that one and can't get the job done. So 1 away, 2 away now. And it's going to bring out manager Rob Cook just to have a word with Scott Sloan.
Be looking to get him through the end of this inning, you would think. That'll be twice through the order.
Going to bring up Ryan Igo.
He's managed to pitch around some problems today. He's given up 7 hits.
Yep.
Sloan. He's managed to keep out of big clumps of trouble. And had a little bit of help. That base running error.
Igo punches it right side, but foul. Just getting out of play. First pitch hacking You always know when there's a mound visit, the next pitch is going to be a fastball. And Ego pounced on it.
We saw him get a knock in the 18s game earlier today. Aggressive on that first pitch. Why not? Swinging the bat well.
See if he can put one in play now. Score cut from second. Oh, lobs that one in for strike 2.
That is such a good pitch to righties.
It's nasty. Not a lot you can do with it either.
No, that's
By the
right.
time you realise what it is, it's in the catcher's glove. And fouls that one off, reaches across the plate. Good protection swing. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster ride or something, mate. Just holding on for dear life.
Both got the hands up on the handles.
Either that or in the car with my brother when he had the old VN wagon. Going around corners at 95. So another 0-2 for Ego. Punches it, but only as far as Clapham at second base. Clean pickup. Soft toss across to first, and that'll do here in the 4th inning. On the Procar Automotive scoreboard, Canterbury Vikings 5, Manly Eagles 1. Jack Clapham leading things off for the Canterbury Vikings. New pitcher on the mound for Manly. It's going to be Jake Wonder. Coming up over the under-18s. And in right field will be Ryan Ego, who pinch hit for Ben Patfield. He stays in the game. We'll play right field. Ball on the dirt.
We saw Jackson Taylor get an inning and a third of work last week for 3rd grade, so Wanderers go this week. Interesting to see how he deals with this Vikings lineup. the bottom of it, must be said at the moment.
Swing and a miss by Clapham. Evens the count at 2-2. Punches that one high. This one in the wind. And nicely handled by Jared Cupp at shortstop. Probably the hardest ball hit today, but hung up in the wind. And Cupp identified it and went back and caught it just on the edge of the dirt in behind shortstop for the first out here. Top of 5.
It's so hard to make hard contact
It
today
is.
in this wind.
And you make hard contact and you're not getting rewarded.
No. Got to be hard knocks on the ground.
Yeah. Even a line drive is going to get hung up and pulled back to an infielder.
Andrew Woods in now, the third baseman. Walked and grounded out so far today.
Nothing's got past him at third base, but
Well, he's had a hard time down there in the hot corner,
yeah,
hasn't he?
nothing's got past him, but he's had a couple bounce off him. He's certainly played some good defense over there. He's been a busy boy. Using inside ball 2-0.
This is the biggest thing with these 18s that come into the grade games, isn't it? It's just making sure they get their control right. Make sure you're not walking guys.
Well, correction, it was 3-0, and that was ball 4, so it's a 1-out walk for the Vikings here in the top of the 5th. And Australia needing 4 runs to win the first test up in Brisbane.
Gee, that all collapsed around the Poms pretty quickly, didn't it?
Certainly did. It went from
2 set batsmen
lost
overnight.
8 wickets for 74 runs.
That'll do it. It's not going to win you many test matches. Pinch hitter here for Marty Walsh. The ex-Eagle is out of the game.
I'll bring you that pinch hitter's name, mate. Once I see the number, I think it's at 65.
65.
Errol Guardia. Swings and misses of that one. Doesn't look very confident up there, does Guardia?
No. This is good for Wander as well. You get reward for his strikes. Get reward for pitches that are in the zone, but on the corners.
Nathan Lyon picking up 4 for 91.
Who does a good job to keep him that one in front of him. Gee, the goat. When it rains, it pours, eh?
Cam Green with 2, Cummins 2, Hazelwood and Stark 1 each. But yeah, another great collapse by the English, 8 for 76.
Well, they're going to have some moments, the English, this summer, but they are genuinely dreadful. They are a bad cricket team.
And their England A side isn't that much better. Bowled out for 100 odd yesterday as well. Down in the dirt. So this is where, you know, pitches again just getting too what do I say? Pretty,
Cute.
too cute. You had Guardia swinging on his fastball down the middle.
Yeah.
Wasn't even close.
Yep. Keep
Go
dialing
back
it
to
in
it.
there. Yep.
Throw it past him. If he hits you, you know you're going to get a double play ball. Got a good, strong defensive side behind you.
That's
Then
a
he goes
pitch.
to it there. That's a good pitch. Change up. Down and away. And there's that second strike.
Brings up the catcher, Jacob Richards.
Down.
0 for 2 today.
9-hole hitter. So important to get the 9-hole guy here.
Well, even when Richards did find the outfield before, it was still a ground out. Had that play 9-3 in his second at bat.
There we go, right field again. Long run for Igo. They're not going to get the 9-3 this occasion. Big turn over at second base, but he's held up. Here's Woods. Not tempting fate. A little bleeder in just over the head of the first baseman. We're going to have a pinch runner here. See who it is. 80, 90, 85. 85. Looks like it's going to come out of the under 18s. Got the 18s list there, mate. Who's number 85 for Canterbury?
Let's have a look. Can't say I do have it with me.
You're riding on it, aren't you? Wasn't that your score sheet in the first game? Hit 2, Cup at shortstop. Pick up, long throw across the diamond, and he'll get the speedy Sloan heading up first base. So good inning of work there by Jacob Wanda. Does give up a walk and a hit, but keeps his composure, gets the donut on the scoreboard. So as we head to the bottom of the fifth, Manly still trailing 5-1. So new pitcher for the Canterbury Vikings is going to be Rob Cook to take over after 4 very good innings from Scott Sloan. Only the 1 run given up. It's going to be the Manly pitcher now, Jacob Wanda to bat. Ty Jedrzak was the pinch hitter to finish that inning, and he's now the catcher for the Canterbury side. 3-0 for Jacob Wanda. Real opportunity here for the Eagles to get themselves back into this game. 3-0 for Wanda. Put up a big spot here, and
it's the way to start it.
It's the way you want it. 4 straight balls from Cook.
We were talking about how just then off air.
With no disrespect to Rob Cook, I don't think he's the first preferred out of the bullpen for this Canterbury side. So maybe some arms missing for them as well.
We're just talking as well, Luke, about how quickly this game has moved. So this isn't going to be the final dig for Manly.
No, they're going to have...
Get into the 6th or the 7th.
As Chris Hurley goes after the first pitch he sees, Daniel Cruz to Clapham for 1. Clapham can't get it over to first base in time to get the second leg of the double play. Chris Hurley hacking at first pitch again, grounds into the fielder's choice. And as quickly as Manly had a runner on first with none out, they now have a runner on first with 1 out. So it has been a fast-paced moving game, which is what you like. We are in the 5th inning, so more than likely get a 6th inning, especially if guys are going to ground into double play scenarios on the first pitch they face. It's definitely a time where Manly just need to be patient at the plate, make the pitcher throw strikes. If he's going to walk you, let him walk you. No disrespect to Rob. He's their manager, so when your manager comes on the pitch, that's when you really want to take advantage.
A guy like Dion, who's already 2 for 2 today, probably the key bat in this Eagles lineup. It's a big opportunity to get a rally started in this 5th inning.
Hacks at that one, but hacks a foul.
That was his A swing. No doubt about that.
Just missing away.
That's a good breaking ball.
3-2.
Where you go, it's not pitching that often. You just work that
2-2
pitch off the
rather.
corner. See if he comes back with something hard here.
Pokes at it, fouls it out of play.
It was hard, but it wasn't in the zone. Dion obviously in protect mode there. Did well to foul it off.
Only the brave are here today at Aquatic. I hope you're
kidding.
enjoying the game online. I definitely prefer to be watching from the comfort of my own lounge room. And that one foul, long run for the third baseman, but he's going to see it drop. Mason battling hard here. Count remains 2-2, 1 out with Chris Hurley standing aboard at first. Outside corner, 4, strike 3. It's been the spot all day here. That'll be the second out, so Wanda got the job done to start the inning off. Very quickly things can change. Manly now 2 out.
perfect spot for Simic. Has an RBI today.
Hurley takes second base. Moves himself in a scoring position. If Simic can put the ball in play here, I think Chris Hurley will think twice about trying to score.
Was thrown out by Ingham in the third inning.
And now he's in a more favourable position to score.
Makes his life a little easier.
On the wild pitch by Cook. Both second grade teams going through their warm-ups at the moment. Second grade will start at about 3 o'clock. Providing this game doesn't go too deep. And Simic stands bat on shoulder, 3-0. And that'll be ball 4, so that'll put runners on the corners. We'll bring up Jackson Taylor.
This turns into a big spot for this young man.
Certainly does. See how he can swing it. See if Simic stays around on second for long. Not being held on by the first baseman, so he starts to take off towards second, but doesn't take it. It's interesting that the first baseman isn't holding Simic on. He's hovering closer to the base now. Now he's holding him on. Ooh, wow. Takes that pitch, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that looked closer than the one he rung Dion up on.
And a lot closer than the first pitch he threw as well. One for Jackson Taylor. Fouls that one off.
Now he's got to change his approach a little bit. That was a pitch on the outside that he's trying to heave over the left. The way the wind is at the moment, you just got to take what Cook is putting in there. You have to flip one over to the right, into right. It'll score the run for you just as well as anything you can pull.
Pulls it to the shortstop, Cruz. Picks it up in the pocket of the glove, throws it across the diamond and gets the out. So what was looking like a promising inning for the Eagles comes to an end quickly. And on the Procar Automotive scoreboard, your Manly Eagles still trail the Canterbury Vikings 5-2. Small malfunction on that scoreboard. It is only 5-1 in favour of the Canterbury Vikings. Daniel Cruz checks in. Jacob Wanda back out for another inning of work.
He had to record an out today, Daniel Cruz. He had a good day at the plate, couple of walks and a single.
No, 100. Yeah.
And he takes ball one from Wanda into his second inning of work in relief of Ben Logue.
Manly defence unchanged. Simic in left, Mason in centre. Ego in right, Turley at third, Cup at short, Taylor at second, and Shivers at first. Wu still behind the dish, and that's another strike in there by Jake Wanda. So 2-2 the count. Very important to get the first out of this inning. Just missing bottom of the zone, 3-2 now.
Settle himself in again as much as anything.
The thing about Wanda is working quick. He knows he's in command. He's only just missing his spots. So he's trying to stay on top of the batter, not letting him think about the job too much. So the best thing you can do as a pitcher, just work fast when you're ahead, when you're on top, even if you are just missing the zone by a little bit.
No one gets away.
That'll be a lead-off walk. So we've got a pinch hitter. From the under-18s. Pops up the bunt, but out of play. Get over the head of Wu. Fouls that one off. Safely out of play. So it's Shane Riley coming up from the under-18s. Pinch hitting here.
Pitched a couple of innings for the 18s today as well.
Lifts that one into right field, Underneath it is Ryan Ego. Probably the one pitch lifted into the air that hasn't been caught up in the wind. I think the wind died just at that moment then.
That's right. Nice easy play regardless for Ryan Ego in right. First out of the inning. Now Nathan Ward, another one of these Canterbury hitters who's had a good day at the plate. Couple of hits, a walk. It's been the guys behind him that have been the weak spots in the Vikings lineup so far today. It's right down the middle for strike one.
Jake winds up. Getting ahead in the counts, what you like to see. Straight back to Wanda. Up to Cup for one. Over to
And
first base with Sean Chivers. And a nice casual pick up. Ward not hustling up first. Looks like he may have strained a side muscle. And that'll end the top of the sixth inning. We head to the bottom, Manly, with maybe their last chance to take advantage of this game. They trail 5-1.
And Sean Chivers swinging early in the count again, and he has his second hit of the day. The manager for the Manly Eagles third grade side. He's got a hot bat. He's standing on first base, and the Manly rally in the sixth is underway. Chivers has been working hard on his bat over the last couple of seasons, and is paying dividends here. Alex Molchanoff with you, bringing you our EBSN coverage of this third grade game between the Manly Eagles and Canterbury Vikings. The Vikings leading at 5-1 as Cup lifts that one into right field. The wind playing havoc again, but it's squeezed this time by Gadger. And the Manly shortstop is sat down for the first out of the bottom of the sixth.
Can't follow up his manager's lead there. Had a hit of his own his last time up. Can't repeat the dose. And Eric Wu settles in the catcher for the Eagles. Takes ball one and outside. From Cook into his second inning of work here in the 6th. Managed to hold the Eagles to 1 scoreless as the count moves to 2-0. Hasn't been the greatest start to the season with a bat for Wu. And a couple of strikeouts today as that one gets away from Jedrzak, and it's going to be an easy advance to second base for Sean Chivers, who has his second hit of the day, Luke Eisenhower.
3 for 5 on the year, mate.
What a start. Hitting 600 is
that average
never
is
bad.
just climbing and climbing. Well, he was boasting how he was hitting about 450 in minor league.
Is that right? Well, he's been working hard. I know he was working hard with his bat when I was down here. It's good to see it paying off.
And that is a walk for Wu. So a huge spot here for Manly. Obviously, not one of their preferred pitchers up on the mound.
Yeah.
So they can just put together some smart at-bats. Ryan Ego now had a good at-bat. Drove the ball hard. And the first pitch he saw wasn't enough. They draw the walks when they're given. Hit the mistake pitches as the rocket almost takes off again. Just lost the canopy a moment before, in between the innings.
Oh, no one's behind.
No one gets away, so 2 runners on now, both in scoring position.
Is there a comeback on here, Luke? Can we see it?
It's always a comeback, mate.
Climbing.
That's what
the
I'm
rally's begun.
They just need long, strong, smart at-bats. It's more than likely do it, so it's their last chance to get it done. There you go. Jump out of the way of that one. You got thick thighs, Ryan Ego. Let it just turn into it. Let it hit you. Load the bases.
Oh, and that's another wild one. And this will score Chivers.
Chivers hustles in. So Manly closing the gap, 1 pitch at a time, 1 at bat at a time. You know where all these wins come from, don't you, Mulch? Ever since I put that new sponsorship sign up in left field, it's
Just
been
testing it
nothing,
out.
but it actually came down during first grade last week.
It did.
And 2 guys are out there frantically putting it back together on the playing field whilst the game was in action.
Oh,
and this time Ryan Ego gets hit. See? Don't jump out of the way. It'll only hurt for a minute. It'll taste better with a beer after the game.
Is Ryan Ego allowed to have a beer after the game just yet?
As long as he doesn't have it here.
That's right.
Go home and have it at home with his old man. No, I think he is, mate. That's why he's up. Oh, no, he's in the 18, so he wouldn't be 18 yet. Who we got here? Jackson Taylor. Jacob Wonder. So 9-hole hitter. And he goes off. He takes second. I don't know what Eric Wu was doing. He might have thought it got away from the catcher. Got a little bit adventurous there.
Not the big spot for Manly. Only trailing by 3. Tying run at the plate. And that's another one that's getting away. Cook is really having problems.
No, it's
with
not
his
Cook. It's not
nose.
Cook. No, they've gone to another arm. Cook's going to come out now and just have a word. I just spoke.
Oh, it's Woods. Sorry.
Woods.
Yeah.
There you go. Third baseman.
Well, you were saying in the last inning, Luke, that Cook wasn't one of their premier choices, so Woods is out after him.
Correct.
And he has really, really struggled to find anything near the strike zone. And when he has, Sean Chivers has deposited it into centre field.
So he didn't get Oppo this time.
No. Took it straight back up the
There
middle.
you go. He Got a bit of stick for going Oppo in his last at-bat. Team will be happy that he went up the middle, but hey, doesn't matter where the ball goes, as long as it finds terra firma and you're standing on first base.
Oh, and
that
that's
one.
really high. And Wu's coming to the
Wu's
plate.
fine. That ball's all the way back at the back net. And Manly closing in on an improbable victory. And it's a 2-0 count, 3-0 count to Jacob Wanda and Chris Hurley on deck, who has hacked 2 first pitch offerings so far today.
You think he'll be doing that this time around?
I hope not, but we'll see. That one's in there for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike now. And that's ball 4. So Wanda will go to 1. I don't think he'll stay there for long. He does, however, represent the tying run, and Rob Cook is going to come and make a pitching change. It's going to be Nathan Ward, who is a former first-grade pitcher. So Cook, realising that he's in a little bit of trouble, doesn't want to throw this game away. Marty Walsh will bring out Ward's pitching glove. We'll see what the change is. I'm expecting Wood to go back to first.
How this game has changed.
Nathan Ward brought on to close out this game, needing 2 outs. Chris Hurley will be the batter. Don't forget, you can follow Manly Eagles on the social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook at Manly Eagles Baseball. Jump on there and keep up to date with everything happening, including the Pink Hope Supporters jersey offer. You have until next Friday to purchase your Pink Hope Supporters jersey. The Manly Eagles Pink Hope Ladies Day will be held on February the 12th here at Aquatic against the MacArthur Orioles. Kicking off, of course, during the Wednesday night game against MacArthur on the 9th. Or proceeds from the sale of the jerseys will be donated to Pink Hope. You can have it personalised with your name and your number. It can be whatever name or number you choose to put on it. But they are a limited item. You need to purchase them, pre-order them before midday on Friday, the 17th of December. And they will be available from the 1st of February at Aquatic. A pitch in there.
Oh, and a
what
close
are we doing
play.
over there? Ryan Ego on the old cut-off in the middle of the diamond play. Ryan Ego was almost a second out. Thankfully, he got back in there in time.
Thankfully, he does. Ryan, he should have been seeing that. You see that play from under 12s.
Correct. So no balls, 1 strike for Chris Hurley. He did take first pitch, thankfully. Nathan Ward just lobs that one in. 1 ball on the strike.
He's not got a lot of velocity up, has he, Nathan? For next.
Maybe a reason why we haven't seen him in first grade for a couple of years. Floats that one in there on the outside corner for strike 2.
Nice bit of work on that pitch, though, to find the corner.
So the tying run in Jacob Wanda stands at second. Hurley lifts that one, right side, long run for the right fielder, can't get the glove, can't get the ball to stick in the glove. It will score 1 run. It'll make this a 1-run ball game. Finally, Manly getting some advantage of the wind. And Rob Cook's going to come and make another change. Obviously, just trying to see where his fingers are pointing. Change it to final 2. Take out the 6.
Manly back to 5-4.
5-4. Tying run at third base is going to be Daniel Cruz. So Nathan Ward lasts one batter.
So we haven't changed that rule in state league, Luke.
No, mate, there's no,
one you haven't seen too one
no
you wouldn't see too often in
no three batter minimum here.
third grade.
They did discuss it, but it was decided that they didn't want to do it.
Well, how about this? This game has turned into a dramatic one in the sixth.
Experience on experience. Daniel Cruz with a little bit more velocity up there. He's going to face one of the more experienced hitters in this Manly lineup in Dion Mason. With Stefan Simic behind him. So the tying run at third base. Chris Hurley stands at first base. A question mark on whether Hurley steals second straight up. Now with a pitcher with smarts about him. He'll do everything to keep Hurley at first.
I think you have to, don't you, Luke? You've got a young catcher behind the plate, a guy who can throw, no doubt about that. But in a situation where if he throws a ball away there, your tying run is going to score.
Yeah, but you
only got one out.
But you don't want to be that go-ahead run getting thrown out on the base paths. You want to leave the bat in the hand of the hitter at the plate, make him drive you around.
Particularly when that hitter is Dion Mason.
Correct. What is he, 3 for 3 today?
2 for 3.
2 for 3.
But yes, it's looked good. Guy who hit 320 last year.
We'll see what manager Sean Shivers puts in place here. Chris Hurley is the go-ahead run. Coming up to 12 minutes to 3. We will more than likely see a delay in the start of first grade. But right now, Dion Mason steps into the batter's box. Tying run at third base. And that's going to be up for ball one from Daniel Cruz. Canterbury obviously trying to save Cruz for some relief in second grade. So I'll be hoping he can get this done with minimal effort. Hurley with the lead at first, doesn't take off. That corner, that ball catches the corner for strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike.
How this game has changed for Rob Cook's team.
Sometimes you just don't have the arsenal. Can be a test. It's why getting those early runs is ever so important. Something that Manly haven't been able to do. Just remember, Chris Hurley was thrown out at the plate earlier in this game. So Jacob Wanda could essentially have been that game-winning run right in this situation here. So 1 and 2 for Dion Mason. Hurley with a bigger lead this time. Takes off for second. That ball's up. He'll take second base unchallenged. Now the winning run is in scoring position. 2-2 count for Dion Mason.
Stefan Simic in a big spot, sitting in the on-deck circle.
He's going to get his chance so long as these two base runners don't run it either of themselves out as they step off. Canterbury drawing the infield in now with 2 runners in scoring position. Dion Mason just looking to poke something somewhere. As long as the ball is low, Hurley should be going on contact.
Play at the plate.
He's out at home. Out at home is Jacob Wanda. Ruben Chippick is not happy. We'll have to have a look at that later on the replay. comes up, Simic. So great play by Woods over there at third base. Held his nerve. Could have had the easy play to go up to first base, but protected that 1-run lead. And now it's 2 out. Simic, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dion Mason still standing at first base. Takes off this time. Simic rips that ball into left field. We're going to have a tie ball game. Dion Mason is going to round second, but he's going to hold up. And Stefan Simic comes up with the goods. We do apologise, just having an issue with the scoreboard. But it is a 5-all ball game. 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
What a big RBI from Simic. Saw the breaking ball once, took it for the first pitch, sees it again and flicks it into left field for the biggest base hit of this game. And now we've got the young 18-year-old Jackson Taylor.
Even bigger spot here for Jackson Taylor.
2 on, 2 out, that winning run would walk this game off.
Chases a high fastball for strike 2. So 0-2 for Taylor. See what the young rookie can produce here. Shows good patience there. Doesn't swing at the second high fastball. Look who's on deck, mate.
Hottest hitter in New South Wales third grade at the moment.
And that is strike 3. So Daniel Cruz gets a strikeout. Manly tied this ball game up, and that'll be how it finishes, ladies and gentlemen. A great effort there by Manly. They did leave a couple of runs on some base running miscues. Some good defensive play helped Canterbury keep this at a 5-5 tie. But Manly get half a win on the board to get their season off and running. Coming back from 5-1 down to tie this up at 5-5. Alex, how did you see it?
Well, it looked like it was going to be a bit of a repeat of last week. And suddenly the bats lit up and off some good pitching as well in that last inning. Chivers getting it started. What a day he had as a first baseman. Flashed some leather as well. But his approach at the plate was absolutely superb. And the young players turning up. Cup had a good game. The shortstop, when he came in, managed to bag a hit at a big time as well. It's just about getting those starts right with Ruben. But there's a lot to work with there for third grade. And as we keep mentioning, look, there's players coming back.
And a lot to like about it as well, just to really grind out.
The attitude
they probably did miss an opportunity there with Cook on the mound.
Yeah.
But you know, Cook's an experienced campaigner. He knew the job he had to do, and he went out there and did it for his team. This game finishes in a 5-5 tie. We'll be back in about 15 or 20 minutes with second grade. Thanks for tuning into this third grade game on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. It's Manly and Canterbury tied at 5.